good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Theme YouTube music! Guys, we all love a duo, especially in things like sports. There was Joe Montana to Jerry Rice, then Steve Young to Jerry Rice. There was Jordan and Pippen. There was Kobe and Shaq. There's been LeBron and many others, right? There's LeBron and Kyrie Irving. There's LeBron and Dwayne Wade. You guys get it. Duos are great. Even in the business world, there's Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger. You guys get the drift. Duos are something that we really appreciate. But also in criminality, guess what? We like duos. There's Bonnie and Clyde. Oops! But then there's another dynamic duo you probably haven't thought about. Rewind! We're flying all the way to Chicago in a suburban village called Dalton. We all know about the infamous city girl mayor, Tiffany Henyard. But every great person, evil or great, needs allies. I mean, doesn't matter who you are, crime, you need help. Gunshots! And nobody helps Tiffany Henyard more than Keith Freeman. Now, who is Keith Freeman? Despite the fact that Keith Freeman is 6'4" or 6'5", a big towering man who seems to be a very good business person, a guy who is really legit on the outside looking in, of course. But unfortunately, Keith Freeman has a checkered past.
Now, Keith Freeman, he's been in and out of trouble since he was a young person. He was charged for theft in 2000. He was charged with a felony in Iowa when he turned 27. This was back in 2005. Theft in the second degree. Oh, Keith is a busybody. He has a long rap sheet. He never cleared up his charges because back in 2011, he was in Palm Beach, Florida, where they extradited him back to Iowa. They said out-of-state fugitive. Fugitive from justice. That's your boy, Keith Freeman. Because we all know Tiffany Henyard made a big fuss about not giving background checks. And this is one of the reasons why she didn't want to give a background check. Because anybody that works for municipal department or the city can have felonies. And I'm pretty sure they can't have theft. He's a nationwide criminal. He's been in Iowa. He got caught up in Chicago, Kentucky, Daviess County, Kentucky. He's been in Palm Beach, Florida. All these are appearing on his arrest record. How in the world are you filing for bankruptcy, not able to pay your bills? You live in an apartment. That's what I found out from his bankruptcy. He lives in an apartment, probably not so expensive apartment. You're collecting money from the village of Dalton, and you're also collecting money from Thornton Township. So you're making about $150,000 a year. I'm pretty sure it's more. He's saying that he only works for Thornton Township. Your income, Thornton Township, municipality manager. Gross income, $5,800. Now, I'm not the smartest tool in the shed, but from the payroll expenses of Village of Dalton payroll, Keith is on here. This was just in October. Keith Freeman, $3,800 every 2 weeks. And he claims that he only makes $5,800 from Thornton Township, employer's name, Thornton Township.
I want to give a big shout out to Dalton Trustees YouTube page and also Shawan Burns. As you can see, Keith Freeman's been doing everything all over the states except for the right thing. But then the question must be positioned. How did Keith Freeman ever become the city manager for Dalton and also Thornton Township? Now we must understand Tiffany Henyard, aka City Girl Mayor, is not just the mayor of Dalton. She is currently the Thornton Township supervisor, which is like 19 different cities in that particular situation. Do you want to know who was Henyard's senior advisor in Thornton Township? Keith Freeman! Keith Freeman was making over $100,000 a year in Thornton Township. And whenever something happened in Thornton Township, it would be Keith Freeman that would go out and do all the dirty work. He would speak to the media. He would speak to anybody who had concerns. He would be the one pretty much, doing things to protect Tiffany Henyard. And he's done a great job of doing it, albeit it may not make a lot of sense as to why he's doing it, but he has been doing it. And then something happened to him rather strange.
A high-ranking administrator for both Dalton and Thornton Township is charged with fraud connected to an alleged bankruptcy scheme.
The village also completed negotiations with the police patrol, police lieutenants, and the sergeants.
Right here you see Keith Freeman, who sits next to embattled Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard, discussing finances at a recent village board meeting. The U.S. attorney accuses Freeman of concealing assets and incomes from his creditors. He faces up to 5 years in prison if convicted. We reached out to Freeman and various Dalton officials, but have not yet heard back.
Oh, yeah, man. This is crazy, right? All of a sudden, he gets arrested for bankruptcy. And we kind of don't really know why, because shouldn't be like an FBI investigation for this. But why did he get fired for Thornton Township? Let's find out. Records shown by WGN Investigate show Freeman was fired from the township job on July 9th. Freeman denied being fired and denied cooperating with federal investigators in a text message to WGN Investigates. However, human resource records obtained via a Freedom Act of Information Act request shows 0 hours worked by Freeman for much of the month of June and into July. He received a written warning about chronic absenteeism on June 14th with an unidentified administrator writing, "I'm asking for better communication of whereabouts and more time spent at the township." Henyard has frequently blurred the lines of two governments she runs, with employees such as Freeman tasked with completing work for both Dalton and Thornton Township. The FBI served wide-ranging subpoenas targeting Henyard and her allies in April after prosecutors charged Freeman with bankruptcy fraud for failing to report his income from Dalton. Still, Henyard kept Freeman on both government payrolls until now. Then remember he said that he wasn't fired? Well, we got some information here. Due to the high-ranking position that you held at the township, this type of misconduct cannot be tolerated. Your misconduct is a detriment to the smooth functioning of the township's operations. Despite the termination, Village Financial Officer Robert Hunt granted Freeman an undisclosed monthly stipend in July. Now, let's think about this for a moment. Mr. Freeman was not coming to work in the Thornton Township, and just like Tiffany Henyard does not do monthly meetings, but just once a month. So my guess is if he wasn't showing up, it must be for one reason. Well, he feels like he can do whatever he wants to do because he has some information on Tiffany Henyard that if that information is to get out, she's going down, and he'll probably try to get some level of immunity or a lighter sentence. So pretty much what he's telling her is, listen, you do whatever you want to do. Why can't I do what I want to do? But Tiffany Henyard doesn't like anybody challenging her authority. I don't know why Keith Freeman felt he was special, but again, live by the sword, die by the sword. Gunshots! Now Freeman had to get that work. I don't know if this is to cover up for the FBI, but I'm suspecting it has a lot to do with it. And then there goes that $100,000 a year income that you will no longer have, buddy, and you will never get it back. I want guys to really understand something about this story, as it can help all of us. This is something that we all can benefit from. You see, it's easy to get money when you're lying and stealing. Stop the show. I don't know if it's easy or not, but let's just say it's easier. But eventually you're gonna get caught. And when you get caught, you're gonna have to pay the price for that money, and you won't be in any position to get it back, like Mr. Keith Freeman here. And then there goes your reputation, there goes your money, and then there goes some of the things that you might want to be able to do in this life, and you can't do it simply because you're a liar and a cheat. Cheap and easy money never wins. Scamming never wins. Lying like that never wins. These are short-term goals with long-term consequences. And if you haven't learned by now, you're better off putting in the work and just doing what you need to do. And if you're in the Black community, it's plenty of opportunities out there because very few people will want to really put in a lot of hard effort, and you can still be successful and you have to look over your back. I'd rather take the second option, but Mr. Freeman will find himself in jail or telling on Tiffany Henry to get some more free time. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I already put you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell, we're out.